Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to this week's Esoteric Influences. It's going to cover the 7th through the 13th of February. I hope everybody's had a good week, good last week. I hope everything went well for you. We'll see about this next week, though, and where it's all going to take us. If you subscribe to the newsletter, it's already gone out, and so you have all of this in your inbox. If you haven't already seen it, it went out about 10 minutes ago, and last week I did it on Saturday night, but this time I didn't. I waited until today. Anyway. So if you want to sign up for that, though, there's a link on the side of the side panel of my blog over at imsteppingaside.com. It's called Stepping Aside is my website name. And anyway, if you want to sign up for it, do. And I just put different things in it, and including the esoteric influences. There's a rune divination. There's an herbal tea in it this time. Just stuff like that. Anyway, let's see. The two active human design channels this week activated by transits are both recognition and synthesis. We saw those both last week. Recognition is going to come into play on Saturday only. The rest of the time it's all synthesis. And if you remember, or if you don't, I will tell you, synthesis deals with the interrelated nature of life and the collective or shared need or belief. I mean, we naturally want to do that. It's only when there's outside influences that come in that sort of disturb that whole natural process, and that's kind of what we've been dealing with now. Recognition is reflecting the understanding that we determine our own potential from limitation, and that freedom is actually an illusion. Let's see. So with all of that, today being the 7th, we have a 7 numerology indicating balance and thoughtfulness and analysis, truth-oriented, all of that. The rune is Perthro. It's the rune that represents the Norns and what they have to do with the fate of mankind or humankind. Let's see. It also is about cause and effect. It's synchronicity. It's a water element rune. Here it's open to birth. Here it's open to death. Well, I'll do that again. Death. This is a cauldron. This is manifestation. But it's basically the cup from which dice are cast, or the cup from which the runes are tossed. We have Caput Draconis is the geomancy rune for Sunday. And we're talking new beginnings there. The north node of the moon, or the future. So the moon is in Sagittarius until just before 1 o'clock this afternoon, Pacific Standard Time at 12:52. It travels into Capricorn. And again, the active human design channel for today is synthesis. So for Sunday then, today, we're going to step back and watch for synchronicities that alert you to a greater message. Now's the time to accept responsibility for any confusion you may have been a part of, and to take a new course. Analyze the situation objectively and proceed along a spiritual path. The moon travels into Capricorn in the early afternoon, but while it's still in Sagittarius, you might be given to acting in haste. But before you get yourself in trouble, especially with your mouth, you might want to wait for the more structured Capricorn influence to settle in, particularly if this concerns with relationships with others. Sagittarians are not known for their tact, so you couple that with, the emotional side of the moon and all of that, then, maybe your mouth gets away from you. Understand that there's potential found within limitation, and that you may need to exercise self-restraint in service to a higher goal, particularly if it's relationships. In fact, you may be someone who needs to wait for opportunities to find you in human design known as the generator type personality. I'm a generator type personality, so I know what that's like. It's tough. It's like, no, I want to go do something. I want to make it happen. It's like, no, wait for it to come. If so, changes that are necessary may need to be envisioned by others, with you providing the hands-on skill to make them possible. My husband's a manifester. Our oldest son is a manifesting generator, and our youngest is a generator like me. And so whereas my husband and our oldest can initiate things and then everybody else just so they can make great leaders, make great managers, all of that. For the generators, we're then to carry it all out. And so, people ask, well, how were you subordinate to your husband as a student in your karate school while you were training? Well, it's like he's a rank ahead of me, so I'm always subordinate, right? But it really is about that relationship, him initiating and me making it happen. So the training, was fine. We were married on the outside, but on the inside of the dojo, I was the student. So always. So let's move on to, but that's just an example of how the manifestor versus generator relationship can work. Anyway, the 8th is Monday. We have an 8 energy for Monday, and we're talking leadership, achievement, material success, and harmony. The rune is Birkenau. Here we're talking about fertility and birth and protection and new beginnings and healing. It represents the birch tree, and it's also about bringing, if it's not about the birth of a child, it can be the birth of anything. So bringing projects to fruition, finishing something up, in the planning stages, now we're ready to launch. That would be Birkenau energy. We also have Tristitia. Sadness, grief, it can mean evil, it can be an evil presence, sorrow, condemnation, quick temper, holding grudges. Also, though, protection. And I really think that basically we're trying to heal that with the Birkenau energy. The moon's in Capricorn on Monday, and the human design channel is synthesis. So on Monday, it's a day to support others in their healing process, even as they support you in your own. This last year has been profoundly difficult, and although it appears that hope has returned, it will take some time for life to return to any semblance of normalcy. Be the light for others as you lead them on a new path forward. Avoid risky endeavors on Monday, focusing instead on activities that are fairly predictable and routine. That said, while you remain self-disciplined, don't ignore opportunities that are unconventional in nature. You might uncover a direction that you didn't see before, and one that can resolve any challenges that may arise or that you've been dealing with. The position of both the Sun and the planet Mercury in Monday's human design chart counsel using assertion or aggression as a last resort after first exhausting all peaceful options toward resolution. Remember that discretion can go a long way to preventing misunderstandings, and it's best to approach challenges from a shared perspective. moving on to Tuesday, the 9th of February. I'm going to take a drink of tea. I wake up this way every morning. So anyway, let's see. The 9th is about endings and completion and generosity and kindness and sympathy and the humanitarian within. Basically, the 9 is. We have Ingus, an earth element rune for the day. It means the sudden release of energy, male fertility, DNA structure. It's a gardening rune, so it means the seed, but it's the explosion of potential or the undeveloped potential. Genetic inheritance, inner focus, grounding, kind of like ESA, like we have on Saturday, kind of bringing everything into a contracted, moment of expression. Fortuna Major is the geomancy rune for Tuesday, and that's a greater fortune. It also can indicate ego, success, and achievement. It can also, on the downside, indicate micromanagement as well, or something that's self-reinforcing, protection. Protection seems to be part of a lot of these runes. The moon's in Capricorn until it shifts to Aquarius in the latter part of the afternoon at 5:21 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And again, the same human design channel for Tuesday is synthesis. So on Tuesday, we're going to allow perceptions to shift toward a higher path. As concerns continue over remaining healthy, the impact of the virus is felt by many. You have the inner strength to assist others during this incredibly emotional time, so share your compassion, empathy, and experience to help those around you find healing and peace. Channel any drama into activities that are creative or physical. To control any mood swings that may occur on Tuesday, plan an online gathering to spend time with female friends or family members. That's a little bit of a Vesta influence there on the moon. And nurture bonds that provide healing and respite. I don't know if I said that. Even though you're apart, you can still enjoy a meal and a conversation with others online. People are doing it all the time now. Have a little potluck at your each individual home. You have a dynamic influence on others, and you're able to convey the truth that they may be on an irresponsible and unsustainable path. Dedicate yourself to living in truth and model that perspective to others. It's time for all to make decisions that exercise restraint while promoting safety that reflects a higher goal. People are still dying from COVID. That's going to continue for a while. And even though we're getting our vaccines now, my husband and I have not gotten ours yet, but even though that's happening now, we still need to wear masks when we're around people, because apparently, even though it's protecting you from getting so sick, you can still get the virus and transmit it, apparently. So the CDC is asking us all, if you're getting your shots, still wear masks, whether you're inside or out around people, because again, it's transmissible still. You don't want to do that to anybody. So I think that Tuesday, that's really use that Mars energy to really model that behavior. And if you can get through to people in a way that's safe doing it, then try to affect people and get the word out of what the truth is about all of this, not what the nonsense that's been out there about it. This is not a time where we can exercise our own I can do whatever I want moment, right? Oh, no. We have to get it together on this. We really, really do. Wednesday the 10th, we have a numerology of 1, indicating unity and wholeness, new beginnings, freedom, talent, leadership. The rune is Uruz, a water element rune. It's the primal forming essence. It means health, endurance, strength, energy shaping matter, represented by the aurochs, a cow-type creature no longer around. It's morphed into other things like bison and really big cows. But it's the idea that it's a lot of energy there. The geomancy rune for the day is Pur, which is about scattered energy. It's unstable, it's impulsive, it's driven, risk-oriented, but it's not as adult-like as Rubius. So the evil aspect doesn't come in. This is little boy energy. So you know how I raised 2 little boys, so they're all over the place. It's kind of that. The moon's in Aquarius on Wednesday, and again, the human design channel is synthesis. So for Wednesday, then, freedom doesn't necessarily involve doing whatever you like. True leadership suggests the ability to see the greater picture and to act on behalf of others. So for Wednesday, let go of impulsive behavior that doesn't serve the collective, focusing instead on staying the course towards safety and healing. With the moon in Aquarius on Wednesday, you may have difficulty understanding the emotions of others. It may be that your issues with emotions, though, stem from a lack of self-confidence, possibly brought about by your need to set a course that others just don't understand. That said, you also love the company of family and friends, so avoid judging anyone for their self-expression today. Just kind of sit back and, don't react. You may embark on a new path or develop a new agenda on Wednesday that focuses on human rights. Your willingness to approach difficulties from a unique perspective allows you to challenge old paradigms while promoting a new consensus with others, and your higher awareness will set the stage for success on Wednesday. Now, Thursday, the 11th of February, 11 is a master number for awakening and illumination, synchronicities, and the spiritual messenger. We have Gebo as the rune for Wednesday. Looks like an X. It's another water element rune. It indicates balanced energy exchange or a link or marriage or partnership, reciprocity. It's known as, the key word for it is the gift. And isn't reciprocity and balanced energy exchange with others, isn't that really the true gift? To be able to offer that and receive that from someone. It really is a true gift. And we have Laetitia, which is joy, health, laughter, portends good fortune. It's imaginative, it's intuitive. So, use your intuition and understand the greater picture of what reciprocity can do. Know it. You know this is true within. And so try to express that without. on Thursday. Let's see. We have a new moon on Thursday as well. It happens at 11:05 in the morning. It's not until after that at 11:24 when the moon shifts from Aquarius into Pisces. So it'll still be a new moon in Aquarius, although it's going to travel right into Pisces shortly thereafter. So work your magic accordingly, and set your intentions accordingly for the new moon. The synthesis is still the Human Design channel for Thursday the 11th. So on that day, we will awaken to the truth of the collective consciousness within and then share that gift with others. Watch for synchronicities that can lead you in a new direction as you resonate in joy and peace. On this new moon, you set your intention for new perceptions to unfold. Your intuition is strong and should guide you along your new path. As you reflect on what has been, let go of past woundings and be gentle on yourself going forward. Go within to reassess your values and principles with a focus on the needs of the family or group. Reject a perspective that avoids responsibility by becoming a recluse who blames others for your own mistakes. The path ahead may be challenging, but it's one that's necessary. Lots of shifting of perception right now as we start to take a new path collectively in the country, as we start to have more and more truth about what the last few years were all about coming out. Next week is going to start another part of the impeachment of the last guy, the conviction aspect of it. We'll see where that goes. But clearly, who people think he is entirely not true. So we're going to find out what all of that was in one fell swoop so you can see the entire picture of this. And as we go forward, there's going to be more and more things like this that come out that are going to help people along that path. So again, the path ahead may be challenging, but it's one that's necessary. We have to get back to knowing, first of all, what just happened that culminated in this, what happened on the 6th of January at the Capitol. We have to understand that. And that's going to start, and that process will start here, on Tuesday or something. So anyway, Friday the 12th, we have a numerology of 3. 12 reduces to 3. Number for self-expression, optimism, being friendly. It's about reason, being detail-oriented, communication. Think the air element. Think the planet Mercury or the god Mercury. That's kind of the some of the same characteristics of the number 3. is the rune for Friday. Is it Friday? Did I say that? Yes, Friday. I just scrolled up, so I lost my title. This is Iwas. It's the connection between opposites. It's another as above, so below rune. It links between realms, between spirit and form. It's a protection rune, mainly because you're drawing protection from spirit. We have Albus for the geomancy rune, meaning white hair, wisdom, sage, clear thought. It's another communication rune, so it aligns well with the 3 energy for today. Knowledgeable. It can also be superficial if it's ill-dignified. So the moon's fully in Pisces on Friday, and again, we're still in the Human Design channel of synthesis. So on Friday, we're going to pay attention to details to avoid any misunderstandings. Again, Mercury influence here. Mercury's still in retrograde. So, this is a time for really making sure that you are communicating the way you want to. However, if a situation remains unclear, take a step back in an effort to see the greater picture. Reach out to others who may have more experience and make any decisions and make any decisions when truly ready. Now that the moon is in Pisces, you're more sensitive and ready to express compassion to others in need. You intuitively understand what others are feeling, and your rather unique sensibility and original approach may prove helpful today. You understand the interconnectedness of life, and others look to you for inspiration. That said, some self-restraint may be in order until all facts are known. Again, consulting someone with more experience may provide the clarity you need. Remain open to any advice given and avoid a pessimistic attitude that prevents others from trusting the process. Sometimes people are looking to you for stability and support, and when you start losing hope or you start, losing it, basically, that focus, then it's like, okay, what are we really doing here? It's that kind of thing that can happen. Now on Saturday, that's the 13th, that's a 4 energy. So that's grounding, foundation, practical concerns, strong focus, materialistic, hard worker. That's kind of the energy of the 4. But think foundation. Um, what's your main focus all about? The rune is Isa, the Norn rune of the present or static realm. Means alignment or freezing unwanted behavior. Consciousness, also focus, will development, contraction. The geomancy rune again, we had this on Thursday, is Laetitia. So again, imagination, intuitive, joy, laughter, good fortune, health. And the moon is fully in Pisces on Saturday. And here we change to recognition. And remember, recognition on the Human Design channel is understanding that we determine our own potential from limitation and that freedom is really an illusion. So with that in mind, clear out the clutter and take care of routine tasks on Saturday. Remain focused and self-disciplined so that you're ahead of the game. Keep things light and enjoy the day. Your spiritual side counsels you to balance your mind, body, and spirit through meditation and other rituals so that you can remain motivated to accomplish your goals. That said, you also may feel drawn to nurturing others on Saturday. Plan a nice meal with your immediate family or an online gathering with others, and spend some time enjoying the evening with those you love. If emotions become tense, remain calm amidst the chaos so that you do not feed into any drama, even your own. Take a back seat if necessary and observe the situation before responding. Check boundaries, your own and those of others, to avoid forcing your beliefs so that you preserve respect and trust. Again, this is going to be a time where, people are finding their way again. People are understanding through some really interesting cause and effect, what, particularly those that assaulted our capital on the 6th of January. Insurrection's a big deal. And whereas I read they were getting initial charges, but then as it goes on, they're adding more and more. I think that whereas this seemed like a real lark to some of these folks, they're going to do jail time for it. So not so much a lark, is it? And if they were influenced by someone who really only had his own nefarious, desires at heart, then now they're going to have to understand that. They're going to have to understand they were duped and used and all of that to further on what this guy wanted. There was no army. There was nothing. This is all this guy manipulating. All right. And again, we're going to see this come out this next week when the second part of the impeachment happens. Because he doesn't have to be in office for this part to happen. In fact, I'm not even sure he has to be in office for the first part to happen. It's a procedure, it's a response that a country has to make when so much corruption or whatever, whatever constitutes the high crimes and misdemeanors, right? Whatever, because that's what it's called. High crimes and misdemeanors. They're high crimes, all right? Not something that's just, nothing. These are things that seriously impact a country, and that's why it's constitutionally okay to do this after the fact. The process must be completed. Could have been completed before, but oh no, that Senate wouldn't cooperate. We have a different Senate now, so we can finish it now. That's really all this was. It's about the wheels of justice continuing to turn when they're supposed to. I mean, what? Someone robs you, your next door neighbor robs you, but they move away, so now they don't have to be responsible for robbing you? Sure they do. It's the same principle. No different. So, anyhow, pay attention to all of that. If you're one that's struggling with what all that truth is, you need to hear another side of things. Get out of the one little vacuum you're in and look at other news outlets, look at other print outlets, look at what investigative reporting is saying. It's all aligning together. And if you're not seeing it, then maybe you just don't know. If you're narrowing your focus to one little thing, and that's the only news you get, well, maybe you need to explore something else and get a more rounded perspective. That way you can hear what the people that you think are wrong are saying. And listen. Open your heart, open your mind, and listen. Because maybe then some of the things that you're confused about will become clear. All right? And I'm sorry about all this, but this is just the way that it is now. We have to come back to truth. We have to understand what was done, and then choose a different way forward. So that we're not staying in that awful place, where families are torn apart and all of that, and I mean, even if it's just about being able to feel safe going out and about to the grocery store, so that everybody's wearing masks, right? So everybody can do that safely. Whether you think you need to or not, wear one anyway. What if you're wrong? Because you are. Anyway. Thanks so much for watching. We'll get together tomorrow for Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune. Look for this. Like I said, the write-up for this is already up on the blog. It's going to go, its own version of it is going to go up on Patreon. I'm going to publish a different one over there on, well, actually, I'm going to publish the same one from the blog over on Medium. That'll be over there. I guess that's it. I don't think I have anything else to share. Yeah, I don't think I will. There'll be a divination that goes up over there on Medium as well. So look for that as well, a rune divination. So I guess that's it. I don't have anything else that's going up that I know of, that I remember anyway. Well, it's early, so who knows? Who knows what'll go up? Anyway, thanks a lot, and you guys have a good week, and be good to yourself, be good to one another, and blessed be.